Hi there. Um, Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are, and welcome to a Nerd Nation stream. We're doing this one off the bat. We're talking more Wandavision after yesterday's episode. I'm here with Gaz. Gaz, how you doing, mate?
I'm right, guy. I do.
I'm doing good, mate. I'm doing good. Just wanted to do this one, just as it, just like on the whim because I had so many things bugging me. Not when I say bugging me, I mean like I don't mean necessarily like it pissing me off, but I need some things resolved, if you know what I mean. Um, I've got a little list of stuff here, and I'll mention some of the stuff to you on that list as we go along, and we can just debate it. Um, but here we go. So we're into 7 episodes of WandaVision now. Gary and I have seen them, seen all 7 episodes, and some things haven't been answered yet. So the first thing I would like to ask is, who the hell is Ralph? Now this person is somebody Agatha Harkness, aka Agnes, was bringing up before she did her reveal. Some people believe it's the bunny rabbit, you know, Mr. Scratchy. You know, it could be Pietro. That could be Ralph, for all we know. Um, it could be anybody, to tell you the truth. But we've heard Ralph's name be mentioned several times by Agnes, by Agatha, and we've never seen him. Will we ever see this Ralph person? Does he have any significance to this? Is he that bloody book, for Christ's sake? Who knows? But who's Ralph? What do you think, Bossman?
I'm between three choices, and I don't know which one it's going to be. It's either going to be a red herring, to somebody that she would mention just to throw her off, but I think that's unlikely. Two, the book, as you were saying, or three, it's going to be like a minion sort of thing. It's like like sort of like a witchy, so like one of those like ego sort of like ego, you pronounce it.
Igor, yeah,
Like the communication like yes, mistress and stuff
yeah,
like that. And it's like when it says like who is that? It's
like
like
a little
oh
minion.
yeah. Like one of those things from Phantasm, with the hold
Yeah,
up and says, "What the hell is that?" It's like, "Oh, that's Ralph." It's like, "That's what you look like." I went, "Oh yeah." I need like a dwarf in like sorry. Can you see dwarf? What's the correct term? Little person, whatever the term is these
yeah.
days. Um, yeah, it's like a little person, like a little in a dwarf. Like if it's Peter Dinklage, I will pop.
Well,
But
he's already in the MCU, but we can have him again. I don't know. I don't see why not. But yeah,
or Hornswoggle or something like that, or like just
Hornswoggle. Well, look, I'm not sure who Ralph is. I do feel, and I put him early in this list because I wanted to get his name out of the way. I do feel he's starting to pale in significance. He's becoming less significant. He's becoming less important with each episode because his name is being brought up a little bit less. But if he does come up in some capacity, I would like to see what they would do with him. But if we never hear from Ralph again, I'll be honest, I wouldn't give a fuck. It, they could. It's a
well,
loose end. I don't give a fuck if they don't tie up.
as I said, it'd be great if, like, as I said, like as I said, a little like thing from Phantasm comes in with the hood in it. You're like, oh, that's Ralph. He's my friend's like, yes, mistress.
Well, let's go on to the next person then, yeah, because I think this is my Igor, as far as I'm concerned, is who is Pietro? Because Monica said to her kids in the last episode that Pietro is not your uncle. So who is he? Now, when it came to these Igor type characters, I felt he fit the bill quite well because I do think he's working alongside Agatha, and we kind of saw that actually a little bit, not just in the end credit scene, but also in the Agatha reveal scene when we realized it was her all along. You saw her go like this, and when we saw the back end of Pietro's head and stuff. So I think there's I just obviously he's not. Well, I don't even say obviously he's not, but do you think he's under mind control from Agatha? Is he does he have the ability to do what he wants to do, or is he like under control like everybody else?
well, what can be told that he's under control is when like he's entering and she's got her back turned and she's doing like with her hand. It's like, yeah, she's controlling him somehow. We just don't know how.
So you
Because I mean,
think
because he completely disappeared this episode. So like, I mean, because he got shot by Wonder with the red. If he
Hmm.
went off somewhere, then we've not seen him again. So where the hell is
He
he?
was in the end credit sequence. There was an end credit sequence, and we saw him a tiny, like for about 2 seconds, or even not even that. But like I said, because Wanda banished him, so after shooting him in the chest, I don't expect him to come back anytime soon. I think sure he's a bit pissed off about that. But he hasn't been resolved yet. I don't know whether he is the Quicksilver from the from the X-Men universe. I'm feeling less.
We are serious, a different actor.
No, from the X-Men universe, not from the
That's what
MCU.
right. But it's the multiverse. You mean?
Well, from yeah, I mean, like, is he from like from? Is he the same? Is he the same Pietro from Days of Future Past and all of that sort of shit? Oh, no problem, mate. Well belched. But Pietro himself, he's still an enigma. We don't know if he truly is doing what he's doing because he wants to do it. Because we saw an episode ago where he actually said that he knows that this is make believe and he's just playing his part. But is he saying that willingly, or is he still being manipulated, by Agatha? There's many layers to this, so it's interesting. But I don't think I'm going to go out on a limb here. And I want to be wrong, but I don't think he's the X-Men Evan Pietro. I don't think he's anything remotely to do with that. I just think he just happens to be Evan Peters, the actor who looks like Pietro from there, and they're just using him differently, and also to give us an Easter egg because he was Pietro in the X-Men. I think that's the route they're going to go down. I mean, just a little Easter egg, with him and the fact that he was Pietro in the past in another universe, and that's it. And then you're going to use him totally differently. It was a con all along. Any more to say on Pietro?
No, that's it.
Okie dokes. So the kids, we got to see kind of got to see the kids a little bit more in this episode. They were chilling out with Auntie Agnes, and then when Wanda went to pick them up, they were gone. Now the kids are once the word enigma might pop up a few times in this in this vid. I do apologize, but they're an enigma in their own right. I mean, Wanda was pretty much the Virgin Mary giving birth, without, like she couldn't get, impregnated by a fucking robot, can she? So, what the hell happened there? She obviously has created these kids somehow, but what will they end up being? I mean, the explanation for them to be real, we need to know how is that possible. Because I do believe they'll be coming into the Young Avengers, the very much rumored Young Avengers. I do believe, and if I'm wrong about this, that's fine, but I'm very much on the side of them being alive after this and coming out of the Hex as real people.
I think that they may be adopted kids, and she's co-opted them as her kids. So basically, what she's done is she's created the illusion that she's been pregnant, but actually these kids...
Yeah, but they came out of her body like Monica fucking took a kid out of her. You know what I mean? Like, she gave birth. She
could be an illusion.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I agree with you there, but they're going to have to really explain that illusion in a few seconds.
Well, the thing is that, how can a robot have...
No, I agree. I have no idea. Man. How can she get impregnated by a robot? How is that possible?
That's what I'm saying. It's really possible that they're her adopted kids. But because
it still goes back. It still goes back to the fact that she's given birth to these kids. She hasn't she didn't adopt them when they were like 5 years old. They came out of her. She popped them out. She had a belly who was growing and stuff, boss man. So if it could be an illusion. That could be an illusion. Don't get me wrong. I just need a good explanation, and I can't fathom one myself. I don't know about you. Yeah, so... But where are the kids? Where are they? You know what I mean? Because we didn't get to see them after Wanda went looking for them. So, are they, kept somewhere else in that basement? Are they... I mean, I've heard rumours about, how... oh, God, I'm sorry. Some of these elements from the comics, it gets me a bit hazy, but I've heard rumors about Mephisto wanted to impregnate his soul into Wanda, so when the kids are born, it opens up a way for him to enter their universe or something like that. Some bullshit like that.
So basically,
yeah,
one of those kids is Damien, basically.
kind of like instead of there were
Well, Mephisto's more or less the devil.
yeah. I know, but
So basically, so one of them is Damien.
when it's more demon than devil, if you know what I mean. But yeah, well, not one of the kids, well, not one of the kids, both the kids, they're twins, mate. They share the same DNA. I mean, they're the most unidentical twins you can imagine, but they are twins.
By the way, if one of these next 2 episodes becomes the Omen, I'll be alright with that.
If the one, same mistake.
If one of these next 2 episodes becomes the Omen, I'll be alright with that.
The Omen.
Oh,
the Omen. Oh, the Omen. Okay, yeah. I don't think we'll be getting that personally, and I hope not because
if that happens, that'll be kind of awesome.
I just feel like the Mephisto thing, like that we're running out of time for this now. Like we've got 2 episodes left, and Agnes was in every episode. So, there was a lot of bizarre things coming from Agnes before the reveal anyway. So she was there from the beginning, but everyone else, like but all these fan theories of Mephisto, at the moment, if you put that from episode 8, it's gonna feel really shitty, in my opinion.
Well, it could be a character that we've already been introduced to, like maybe like his boss or his friend from work was secretly Mephisto. That could kind of work because it's something but that we didn't kind of pay attention to, but was like. Let's say Agnes, we noticed all the time because she does go around. It's like I'm a guest, and like someone we knew. But if they really wanted to try to someone that was always in the background or was always doing something, we never quite know, like that postman would always seem to be going around.
Yeah, that postman. Yeah, but that's the Truman Show aspect of it, of people playing their roles. When you mention the Truman Show, I don't think he's Mephisto. I mean, if he is, that would be great. But I just feel like having Mephisto now, it just feels a bit weird. It just like the Mephisto of this show was kind of Agatha, and we kind of saw her possibly be from Agnes to Agatha. It made sense, but Mephisto just out of nowhere, the goddamn devil, Satan, demon, whatever. I would hate that to enter into this show.
Well, I don't know.
From episode 8.
If he gets to do it, because I'm trying to think who'd be a great actor, because it's Peter Fonda in the...
Peter Fonda? Mate, he must be in his 80s now. You know what I mean?
Peter Fonda originally, but I don't know who's getting it now. I'm trying to think who could do it now.
What, Mephisto? If you wanted somebody of that age group, similar, I would like Charles Dance to do it. I think Charles Dance would be a great Mephisto.
Oh, maybe. Well, maybe he's a bit too old, maybe.
I can't really think off the top of my head, but I gather the kids are alive, and I do feel that Wanda will get them back, and I think she's going to be playing a game of cat and mouse now, a mental chess maybe, with Agatha. I want to get to Agatha now because who is Agatha Harkness? Do you know?
I know she's from the comics.
Well, who's she from the comics? Explain it, because I'm not the best at this.
I think she's a bad guy. I can't quite remember to her. As I said, like I've not really read anything that she's been in, to be honest with you.
Well, I'll tell you what I know from the comics, that she's a bit like Wanda herself. She's a great character. She was actually apparently a mentor to Wanda, but she's never necessarily been a bad guy, but she has her reasons. And that's kind of a common thread when it comes to the X-Men universe, in the comics, that is. There's a lot of grey characters there. But you know what? Regardless of all of that, you don't make her say that she was the one who killed Scratchy and then laugh about it and expect her to have, expect her not to be the bad guy, because she's definitely the bad guy. There's no ifs or buts. I mean, she still might be serving somebody else, and I hope not. I hope she's the main villain. But she killed the puppy and she laughed about it. She's the bad guy. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. Which is like, I killed Sparky too. It's like there's a lot of Wiki Witch in the West things about that delivery.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. By the way, people, if you can give us a like, that'd be great.
I thought she was that far from going. I can't really do the commit to the last laugh, but she was to do that.
Likewise, I can't do it either. So the next question regarding Agatha is, what does she want? I mean, is she like a Loki type of villain where she does stuff for shits and giggles? Because from what I've seen of Agatha in this to what you see of her in the comics, they look chalk and cheese. It's a bit like, Aunt May, in the MCU. She looks nothing like the Aunt May of from the previous films, and in the comics, she looks hot. Marissa Tomei, class A. But you look at Agatha Harkness here, Catherine Hahn, is a very, very beautiful woman. And she doesn't look anything like the Agatha Harkness in the comics. She looks more like Aunt May from the comics. So, what does she want? What does she want? Is she just taking the piss? Is she doing Loki style shenanigans? Does she feel her throne as being like a status as a witch of the witch is being threatened? And where the hell does she come from? Because a witch is not a normal thing. There must be an origin to this fucking witch, and I want to know this shit in the next 2 goddamn episodes.
Well, as I said, I think what it might be is that, as I said, she might be, as I said, somebody that was indirectly affected by something Wanda did. She's like, you did this to me. And then she's like, well, it says like, I noticed that you had this mold up and said I was going to come here, and I was going to affect everything. It's like, why would you do that? Because of this. And again, I think that's what's going to happen in the next episode. That she's going to give justification, and then she's going to bring out the kids and say, well, I want you to choose one, and maybe that's what's going to happen. Like sort of Sophie's choice almost. But then the atmosphere around this show would change a little bit after that, I think.
Okay, so I personally have no idea what she wants.
Do I?
But she does feel like a female Loki from the get go. She feels like a shit stirrer. She feels like a troublemaker.
I just like when she says, right, she said, you don't think you're the only magical user around here, do you? She went, it was Amster all along. I love that song. It's like, it was just so very. It reminded me a lot of Fairly Odd Parents if you've ever seen that show.
Yeah.
Maybe a lot of that.
Well, whatever she does want, hopefully we will find out. It's something that has to be resolved. So we have Monica's beef now with Auntie Carol, aka Captain Marvel. What do you think Monica's beef is with Auntie Carol, and will it be resolved on this show? I doubt it. I doubt we'll even know any more from this show about her beef with Auntie Carol. I think that might be carried onto Captain Marvel 2, where we'll find a resolution or revelation to that. But what do you think her beef is with Auntie Carol?
It could be the fact that she left after the events. Like she left again, and then because she left her before, and she left her alone. She's like, she always keeps on leaving me. It could be that abandonment issues, maybe.
Yeah, but that feels very different to the Monica who was a kid who wanted her mum to explore, who wanted Carol to explore, to go out there and see the universe and shit like that, wanted her mum to be an astronaut. It just feels very different. And surely she knows that her Auntie Carol is like a super space cop. It's like maybe she's blaming her for not being able to stop Thanos from doing the snap. And maybe I think her problem is that she blames her for not stopping Thanos, even though she wasn't there to stop him, and because of that, she got blipped and she wasn't there to see her mum die. You think that's her beef? And somehow, for some reason, she puts all of that onto her auntie, which feels a bit weird. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of, and it's very petulant.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, but isn't this Rambo? Isn't this what's it called? Isn't this like the person that she was friends with ages ago? Is that a daughter? Is it?
It's the daughter. Yeah, Monica Rambeau is the daughter of Maria Rambeau, who was her friend.
Yeah, so I think that, as I said, yeah, it could be the fact that she left both of them and she because she's got this. Oh, she's probably like one of the most powerful people in the Marvel universe. You know, power wise. I mean, she's up there with Skeleton Witch. She's up there with Magneto. And Doctor Doom with how powerful she actually is.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe she's like, you could have saved him, like because Superman gets a lot of this. Superman in the comics gets a lot of. Well, you got X-ray vision. You can save people with cancer. You got super speed. You could fly people to hospital in time for them to get this procedure. And the thing is like, should he do these sort of things?
Yeah, I know what you
Which is,
mean. But she's
so
but Superman is based on Earth. I mean, she's based all over space. I mean, she deals with more than one planet. She's got a bigger. She's got more to deal with.
Well, people are selfish though.
Do you think we'll find out more about her issues? I mean, just maybe a little bit more. Maybe
I hope so.
Monica might open up a little bit.
She's got powers herself. Maybe that this is.
I can envision a scene with Wanda and Monica in a cell together in Agatha's basement, and they're just having to like talk a little bit, and then maybe Monica might explain a little bit about why she doesn't like her auntie anymore. But that would be nice to know, because it was, you kind of, it was shown a little bit in this series so far. So a little bit more on that would be great. So on to the next question now, Bossman. Director Hayward's role in this saga. Now there's two antagonists, as far as I'm concerned, in this show, and the other one is Hayward. But I don't think Hayward is in any way involved with Agatha. I think he's an antagonist of a different variety, but in a way he's also trying to be the hero. But I do believe he has issues. Now hear me out. I think Wanda knew that Hayward was trying to make a weapon out of Vision, which is why she went into Sword to take his body, and that's when Agatha came along and stopped him, stopped her, and then took over and stuff like that. I feel there's something there. I do believe, even though Hayward is trying to act all heroic and trying to save these people, at the same time, he does want Vision's body back. He does want to keep experimenting on Vision and all of that. And I think he might be willing to kill those people if he has to get Vision, which is very unsword-like, especially with someone like Nick Fury at the helm. And then it kind of makes me wonder how many dickheads there are in Sword, because they feel just as bad at times as a Hydra infiltrated Shield organization. So it's a bit weird when you see all these things pan out. I'm not sure if Hayward's going to go full on bad guy, maybe destroy the whole place, even though there's loads of innocent people there. It just doesn't seem right, even for someone like him. But I do think he wants his property back, which he considers to be Vision. I don't know whether he'll go to jail at the end of this when he's shit like that. Like, take him away, officer, or anything like that. I'm not sure if we'll get anything like that. But I do think he might end up paying his dues by the end of this show. I wouldn't want that to happen, to tell you the truth. It would be good if he did get away with it. It would add extra elements to things. Don't you agree? Like, he doesn't get busted for being an arsehole director who fucks things up.
Well, I think, and this is just my speculation, that maybe he turns into Mr. Wonderful. Becomes a villain. So this is just my speculation. Because he's such an arsehole that I can see him being very egotistical, and the sort of like egotism that forces the person who in the comics becomes Mr. Wonderful to do it. I can see this guy doing it like I keep even getting rejected by these people with power. I want more power. I want more power. I can see it happening. The steps are there for him to become Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah, but then I feel like
And the fact is, the purple is there.
Well, look,
Mr. Wonderful is purple.
Look, I made a video about a week ago saying that my theory is that he saw an episode or two ago that he doesn't like superpowered beings, which is why he has a problem with Monica, because Monica is friends with Captain Marvel, so he assumes, and other people. So he has a problem with superpowered beings. That's very X-Men like, with human beings having a problem with mutants. Don't you agree? So I feel the seeds are there for that, and Vision looks like a Sentinel a little bit. and I feel he was using Vision's body as the blueprint for Sentinels,
Maybe.
which could be the X-Men link. And I feel those are the sort of routes we're going down. I would love Hayward to survive this because he could be another Thunderbolt Ross type character, and we need those guys because they're not
Well,
necessarily bad guys, but they're not necessarily good guys either. They're more slightly on the side of bad, but not full on. I mean, they might have a bit of a conscience, which doesn't make them go full on crazy. You know what I mean?
well, I don't know about you, but for me, I've had enough of the X-Men now, because
Really? I feel like
after Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix, which were both shit, they were two terrible movies. I mean, Logan was a great movie. Don't
yeah,
get me
but
wrong.
this is a different. But you got a boss man. This is a whole different studio now. Yeah, it's a
Yeah, yeah,
whole,
but
so
yeah, but see,
and they've been doing things really
all right.
well. They've been doing things
Let
really
me put
well.
this. Let me play this way to you.
Yeah.
Do you know how many years it was between Batman and Robin and Batman Begins, and how many people did not want to go watch Batman Begins because of Batman and Robin? Do you know how many years that was? It was what 1997, 6-ish for Batman and Robin. Uh, Batman Begins was 2005. That's almost 10 years in between the two,
Yeah,
and
but
people still had a bad taste
yeah,
in their
yeah,
mouth.
but you know we've had some people didn't like Amazing Spider-Man, and within a couple of years we've got Tom Holland.
Fair enough.
You know, so like I'm just saying like regarding this, like this is a different studio, different minds, different ideas. The only person who's kind of similar is Kevin Feige because he was with Fox at the time.
So do you think we're going to get McAvoy as Professor Xavier coming into this, or Patrick Stewart?
I don't know, but that's a whole. I don't want to go too much into that, but that's a whole different argument. But I do believe regarding Hayward, yeah, is that the seeds have kind of been sown with him maybe possibly creating the Sentinels. I really hope he does that, and he uses Vision's body. It's just so fucking perfect for it. You know what I mean? I want that to happen. I really, really want that to happen. And like I said,
Well,
he's got he's got an anti sentiment towards people with amazing powers, and that's I hope.
I just had an idea.
Yeah,
Could he be Apocalypse?
he can what? Where do you get that from, man?
I don't know if you ever watched the X-Men
Bossman,
cartoon.
Bossman, this show, watching this show, yeah, he's been running away from a bloody hex, and he's been shown up a couple of times, and he's known this, but and Monica's known this person since she was a kid. There's no fucking way he's Apocalypse, man. Come on, boss man, he's throwing shit out of nowhere, man.
No,
Anyway,
but I'm saying like
look,
if you ever watched X-Men,
if he's Apocalypse, I will wire, and you don't have to give me any money for this. I will wire you 50 quid. I'll PayPal it to you, mate. All right, and that's how absurd I find this comment. Anyway, I want to move on from Hayward now. Will Vision live beyond this show?
eesh, no.
I'm really gutted for Paul Bettany then, but I love him. He's so good.
Paul Bettany's a great actor.
I love the character of Vision. I want him to live beyond this show.
So do I.
I
So do
want
I. But there's one problem: the mind gens be destroyed.
Yes, but okay. There's some spoilers here, by the way. I've seen the when you watch all the trailers for WandaVision, you realize what you have seen and what you haven't seen, and there is a trailer of what I haven't seen so far. So what I've seen on the trailer, but I haven't seen in the episode so far of Wanda trying to, like, she's looking at a giant version of the Mind Stone. You know, I can see it I saw it on that trailer. I don't. There are rumors that she might be trying to get it from an alternative reality or whatever. And if that's the case, anything, like I said, anything's possible. It's science fiction, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah, so anything's possible. She can make a fake Mind Stone, put it in there. You know, I don't know. But I would love for more. I mean, I think Vision's just a great hero. He's one of the few pure. Well, I said that with a quirk, with weirdness in my throat. He's one of the few pure, good superheroes with no hero there with him. He's just a genuine good person who would lay down his life for the right cause, and that's why he was worthy enough to hold that Force hammer, as well. And he's great. He's Captain America, Steve Rogers level of worthiness and character as well. We just never get to see that enough. And he's very much like Superman. You know, he's like a robot Superman. You know, he really is, and I would love to see Vision still in the MCU as a pure good guy superhero. It's nice to have the lots of shit. Like, I want people who are mainly bad to be bad. I want people. I want most of my characters to be in the grey area. But I would like one, two, three, or four to be the archetype, stereotypical good guy, and Vision is that, in my opinion. And I would love him to stay on the show, especially now we've lost. Now Steve Rogers is retired. I feel there's a place for someone like Vision to be the pure good guy. You know, the element of purity. I feel he fits that. You know, so I would love to see Vision stay on. I don't know how, and once again they will sci-fi it. But yeah, any more to say on Vision, mate? Okay. So on to the next one. Where the hell are the Avengers?
I've got an idea.
Mm-hmm.
I think I think that this is basically what's going to be the next film for the Avengers. So basically, they're off doing whatever the next film is while this is going on. So basically, that's the reason that nobody's come along because it's sort of that makes sense. If there's
This
like,
has happened 2 weeks. No, this has happened 2 weeks after Endgame. This is 2 or 3 weeks after Endgame, so it's not
okay,
that long. And we just had Endgame, which was the most recent Avengers movie. So we're not due for another Avengers movie for a good 2, 3 years, maybe 4.
because he was a bit of a prick.
But he's not in charge. Nick Fury is.
Well, is Nick Charges? I thought he was Shield more than
He's
Sword.
he's Sword
Is he Sword and Shield?
probably, but he's Sword for sure.
Okay.
We saw him. We saw him at the end of Spider-Man: Far From Home in the post-credit scene, in the mid-credit scene. He was, so in the post-credit scene, he was up in space. You know, the scrolls were on Earth pretending to be Nick Fury and Maria Hill. It makes me wonder if Maria Hill was a Skrull all along, but we never saw the real Maria Hill. But I think she's real. And Nick Fury was in space on the Sword space station. He's in charge, dude.
Okay, so I think that because that Haywood is such a anti-mutant guy, he's like, right, I'm not going to tell Fury until I actually have to.
Do you think that sort of information would never get back to Fury only through him? I'd find that hard to believe.
Well, I don't know. It depends.
And we've got that shadow
See,
organization. I mean, that hex would be known by Fury whether Haywood would tell him or not, in my opinion.
Well, I don't know. As I said, because it's got Jimmy Woo, who I love to pieces. And I want him with more stuff. Have him with more stuff. Because he's great. And it's like, about I want that actor in something because he's such like an endearing guy. He has like he cares about people. You can see why even though he's a bit of an asshole in the Ant-Man films, he actually cares about people. Like you can tell that he like.
And we've got more character development, but he isn't an Avenger, unfortunately, and he is on this show. But what about
what I'm saying is that he would be the sort of person who'd go over that guy's head and say, "Look, we need the Avengers and we need them now." So I think that's what might happen if that maybe.
But I just feel like the Avengers don't even need to be told to come there. They should realize something like that's happening somehow. Some of them, and they should be going there anyway. I mean, I expect Clint Barton.
Well, how many about you using the other one using that Stephen Strange, isn't it?
Yeah, well, Matt, I expect Stephen Strange to be there. I'm going to get into him in the next question, but I definitely expect Clint Barton, the Hawkeye, to be there, and even at this particular moment, Steve Rogers, if he's willing just to talk to Wanda, because they know each other very well. I mean,
Thor won't be there because he's in that spaceship.
Yeah.
Who else? I expect the
Hulk. I expect Hulk to be there.
Oh yeah. Hulk would definitely go there.
Banner
Hulk.
I'm
trying to think who had that next closest relationship to Wanda after Vision. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's Hawkeye. It's Clint Barton, and Hawkeye had a good relationship with him. With her, you saw that in Age of Ultron. You saw that in Civil War, and you saw that in Endgame. You know, you saw the moments they had. In Ultron, when he was trying to tell her that you're an Avenger now, and look at me, I've only got a bow and arrow, and what the hell am I doing? And by the way, Age of Ultron was Hawkeye's movie, by the way, and
I agree.
Then you saw in Civil War he was there to save Wanda from Vision, You know, he went there to get her, and him and Vision had a great fight. By the way, it was such a good fight. I love that fight. Like, Barton had no chance against him, and until Wanda intervened and took control of the Mind Stone in his head. But that was a moment between Wanda and Clint, and obviously at the end at Tony's funeral, they had a little chat about Natasha, as well as Tony, as well as probably Vision as well. So they've got a good relationship, and Barton should be there as somebody who knows her and somebody who can get through to her, and he isn't. And same with Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers needs to be there as somebody who knew her, somebody who put his neck on the line to save her from imprisonment from fucking Tony in Civil War. To be there to get to speak her out of this, because he would do that retired or not, you know, just to speak to. Obviously, he can't physically do anything, but he's got the heart to maybe get through to her emotionally. He should be there. Hulk should be there. Banner, simply because he knows her, you know. And he's probably, in my, I mean, me and Bobby disagree, but in my opinion, he's pretty much the leader of the Avengers now, as one of the original six, and now he's got his banner head in the Hulk's body. He's pretty much the ideal person to be the leader of the Avengers now. So he should be there. Obviously, Rhodey should be there for sure. You know, these are all, and we're going to get into my next question, my next bit now, because we all know that this ties in to Doctor Strange. So there's one Avenger I do feel who'll definitely make an appearance, and that's him. And why the hell hasn't he shown up yet? I mean, for Christ's sake, she's expanded this hex to a massive size that when we saw Monica. Sorry, go on.
Sorry, I was listening. Geography-wise, whereabouts is this?
It's in New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying to think of a hero who's near New Jersey.
Well, someone like Doctor Strange is in New York, so he's not too far.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, yeah. Avengers Tower's in New York. I mean, for fuck's sake, they could get Spider-Man, you know, and this was set before Far From Home, so Spider-Man could pop along.
But I think the one question could be, how big is the budget on the show? Because again, it's one thing paying Jimmy Woo, the guy who plays. Yeah,
I know. I agree. I agree on all of that.
So, but Tom Holland and
no, I agree with all of that. But they're trying to make a universe which encompasses all these people. Now, all of these people know each other now. Yeah, they're all friends. They've all been at Tony's funeral. They've all high-fived each other and shit. They're all friends now, yeah? So they understand what the fuck's going on. They understand this person. Some of them are not too far. I understand about budgets and actors and shit and stuff like that. But then Disney put themselves in a bit of a hole then when they make these sort of scenarios where you expect the Avengers to turn up. So why the fuck are they not there? You know what I mean?
Well, this is a problem because the thing is, this is where I think the WB have done better than than Marvel, because they introduced the idea of the multiverse. Because there's another guy on a TV show who plays Superman. He's a different actor. He has a different Lois Lane. He was Amy Adams. It's a different Lex Luthor. It's different everything.
Yeah.
And I think this is what Thingy should do, because they have the multiverse there, because they have like, apparently they're going to introduce it in the next Spider-Man movie, which again like, and it would introduce why there's a new Pietro, why there's all these weird elements coming in.
Yeah, but why? But how's that got to do with the Avengers not being?
I don't know whether the Avengers haven't come yet. To me, as I said, I thought they would have come. Do you know when it started expanding out? I thought they would have come down, because I actually genuinely thought, and again maybe you disagree with this, that once it started to grow and Hayward had to chase away from it, like his house was on fire, and then like it started to expand out. I thought, right, the Avengers are going to hear about that. The fact that it's started expanding, there's only spread about 3 people to go and fund it, and maybe it's like the actors who would say yes to it. So like maybe Anthony Mackie, maybe like Jeremy Renner, maybe like
Brody,
Brie Larson, the actors who would say yeah, I'll do that. I again, but the thing is, the start they said nobody's like going, Disney, come on guys. I mean, like by now the Avengers would go, We need to sort this out. We need someone to
Yeah.
go in there and talk to her. And I'm not supposed to get to say, look, what the hell are you doing?
You see, this is the problem. This is the problem when they write themselves into these spots, because it's going to be a little bit different with Falcon and Winter Soldier. They're dealing with a terrorist, maybe like Baron Zemo, yeah, and it doesn't require all the Avengers to deal with them, because it's a different scenario to this scenario where one of their own is causing this. One of their own with magical powers is causing this. You know, a couple of Avengers could easily take out Zemo, no problem. But when one of their own is causing this, and is causing this to an extent that regular people can't deal with this, maybe even regular Avengers who are just human beings can't deal with this, they need something a little bit special. And so you would think by now, by this particular time, with the Hex expanded to what it is, that we will see some Avengers. And this is the problem with the writing now, because theoretically they...
Sure.
No problem, you're excused. Theoretically, we should be seeing some Avengers by now, and we haven't. So this is the problem with their writing. So we're going to get into Doctor Strange, as I said earlier. He will, in my opinion, he will show up in this. I just have a gut feeling he's going to be in this, simply because Wanda's definitely going to be in Doctor Strange too. So, do you think? Do you think Doctor Strange is going to be like the cameo hero of all of this and be the person to save everything? But I feel that's the easy get out to resolve this situation. Bring Doctor Strange in, you know, bish bash bosh, swiggly woo, woo woo woo, everything's done.
I don't know. As I said, Doctor Strange is as powerful as Wanda, if not more powerful.
Doctor Strange,
Yeah,
you think? I heard.
He's got the mind. He's got the.
He doesn't have it. He doesn't have it.
Does he not decide something?
It got destroyed. Remember?
Oh yeah, he's got everything else. He's got other like magical transmits on his body, and plus he could do a lot of stuff like. And the thing is that he's quite powerful. As I said, like I don't know.
I just feel like he will outsmart. He'll have to use his brains and not just. I mean, obviously his magic will come into play, but you have to be very tactical.
You think of the smartest people in the Marvel universe? It's Reed Richards, Doctor Doom, Steve Strange because he used to be a neurosurgeon. I'm trying to think who else.
Yeah, but yeah, I know, but I'm not. Yeah, but that's not relevant to this, yeah, because they're not going to be coming in to save Wanda. Doctor Strange is, you know what I mean? So we got to just stick to that for now. And Doctor Strange is, like I said, he's going to have Wanda in his own movie. There's very much a connection between. I feel with the magic element, it feels like he's pretty much set up to be involved in this. Now, I'm going to give you a little kind of semi-spoiler here. Paul Bettany has said that there's still one more massive cameo to be made on this show, and he's not talking about the Evan Peters Pietro either. He's talking about somebody else. So it's got to be Doctor Strange, surely. I mean, I'm pretty much putting my house on this the way I'm going on about it, but I'm trying to convince myself that it's him. But I'm only going by some of the things that make sense so far with her being in his movie. So I do feel that the only person who can save her, is another magic user. I just feel that's going to happen. I feel it's a good get out as well, and it's like a fan moment. Disney love those moments where they give the fans something to fucking shoot their load over, you know, and I feel that's going to be it.
Well, as I said, like, I'm just hoping they don't give me the throne it and do a really shit ending. That's what I'm hoping.
I do feel this ending is not going to be. I don't think everything's going to be resolved. First of all, I really don't want Agatha to be killed off. I think they would be doing a massive disservice to a fantastic character in Agatha Harkness. She must live. I wouldn't mind her if she wins. You know what I mean? But in some capacity. But she must live in this, in my opinion. But I just feel if they're gonna resolve this, they need to even the odds. And somebody coming into this knowing that Agatha's the villain, like Stephen Strange, would do it. You know, I can't see, man. If they did bring in, for argument's sake, they brought in Brie Larson in as Carol Danvers, I think that would ruin Monica's moment. I think it would overshadow Monica because
Well,
she doesn't need to be
it,
overshadowed.
well, she could, as I said, well, maybe like we see like her blast Carol just maybe for a little bit, and we see like their thing, and that builds into their movie.
I can't see that. Look, I can't see them having a blast. Carol Danvers will come in because the reason why I mentioned Carol Danvers is when Jimmy and Monica were talking about who almost beat up Thanos, they mentioned Scarlet Witch almost had her, and then Jimmy mentioned Carol. You know that Captain Marvel had a good shot. So that kind of brings into line that maybe these two might have a fight, and it could be Carol Danvers coming in there. I mean, I wouldn't mind Carol Danvers coming in there, but at the same time, I would feel sorry for Monica Rambeau's character being overshadowed and having a moment stolen by Captain Marvel. Even though she had a moment already with her origin, it might take away from any additional. But at the same time, people would love to see them to have an interaction after God knows how many years since they last saw each other. I have no idea since the last time Monica saw Carol. So, yeah. So, Doctor Strange, I pretty much covered that. Anything you want to say, Bossman? Any questions you need to be answered?
I think we more or less covered it.
Yeah.
So
Anybody?
if it's not Doctor Strange, who do you think it could be?
Well, I mentioned Captain Marvel only because Jimmy Woo referenced her, and then it gives people the idea what if Captain Marvel and Scarlet Witch had a fight, Mind Stone Woman versus Space Stone Woman, the Battle of the Stones, that would be interesting. But that's the only other person I can think of who might make an appearance. If it's not Doctor Strange, it could be her for that reason. And that's a long shot, by the way. She is a long shot. The money's on Doctor Strange, in my opinion. Yeah. So, but I could be wrong. I don't want to put all my hopes up, but
well, I think there will be at least one or two Avengers in this.
Oh, actually,
not either.
Have you seen the movie Scanners?
Yeah.
Yeah, the head's blowing up. I feel we're gonna have possibly that moment. Maybe Wanda is the hero of all of this after all. Maybe it doesn't require Doctor Strange to come in. Maybe Wanda is the hero, and she has that scanner moment where they have a battle of mind control and shit like that. And then maybe if Wanda blows her head up, then I'll be willing for Catherine Hahn's character to die like that.
I would take that. I take that.
It's not going to happen in Disney, dude. It's not what.
Yeah, no, but I mean, even if to kill her off by just like having that maybe like she just like falls over and dies, it's like, nah, because that's another villain dead.
I just can imagine some Simba moment or some Rise of Skywalker moment where Wanda's on the floor like this, and we hear Wanda, Wanda, and it's like Pietro's ghost there, and her mum and dad's ghost there, and shit like that. And Wanda, Wanda, like you're the last. Maximoff Wanda, and she opens up her eyes are red, and like Catherine Hahn shits herself. You know what I mean? And she like fucking.
Yeah, as I said, if they kill off Catherine Hahn, I will start hating this series because it'll be another. We had to kill off another hit villain. It's like, cheers, guys.
And we're not talking any old villain. I mean, she's fantastic. She is a great villain. And I want her to come back. I mean, God knows what would happen if they killed off Baron Zemo's character. I mean, how would Falcon Winter Soldier have been? And
yeah, but would they start? If they kill, well, whoever they kill off, they're gonna have to start inventing.
They need,
or like going to like the very outer reaches of like Marvel stuff. Like
it's not even that, boss man. Sometimes these villains need to win. Just simple as like we've had 20, win or live. We've had 23 movies, and only twice has the villain won out of 23 fucking movies. That's not good enough. You know, I think
Well, you think about it. How many villains have they killed off? Ironmonger dead. Uh, the Mandarin, well, the guy, the Mandarin dead. The Whiplash dead.
Killmonger.
Killmonger dead. Trying to get the other ones.
Yeah, they're all look, yeah, but
Destroyer.
some of the honestly, a lot of them are really shit. Mysterio might or might not be dead, and even Killmonger might come back alive because people are saying that when he took the dagger out of his chest, the suit just closed up and kept him alive still, if you know what I mean. And so Killmonger could still be alive, and the theories is that T'Challa but T'Challa's dead now, as far as I'm concerned. Not just Chadwick Boseman, but the character of T'Challa. I think he's died. What I believe has happened is that before T'Challa died, he put Killmonger in the icing like he did with Bucky. You know, at the end of Civil War, he put Bucky in ice. He done the same with Killmonger. And I think Killmonger will wake up one day and he'll be a Black Panther. And he'll be good guy Black Panther. He'll know the errors of his ways and shit. He may be a bit more grey, like a grey area Black Panther, where he'll still have like the Killmonger badassery. He won't be a humanitarian like T'Challa was. I mean, T'Challa was nice guy supreme. You know what I mean? You won't see that from Killmonger. Killmonger will be a very intimidating individual. You know, while someone like T'Challa will be like, hey, come, my friends, come, my friends. Like T'Challa will go, what the fuck are you looking at? So that Killmonger will say that. So, anyways, that's a whole nother debate. But yeah, I really want Agatha to. I would not only want Agatha to survive this. I want Agatha to win. I don't know what Agatha victory would entail. But it might be the death of the children. But I don't want that to happen.
Because you talked about like maybe I think it's last episode. You talked about Wanda becomes the next villain for phase 5. Maybe that's what Agatha winning turns into, is that Wanda is now full under Agatha's control.
She can be a Doctor Strange villain, dude. She can come back in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness and fuck around there in some capacity. You know, she doesn't just have to come back. You know, like if Wanda had her own movie, there's still every chance that Wanda could have a film. There could be a Scarlet Witch movie, and she could come back in that quite easily. You know, so there's every way possible. She doesn't have to come back against them. She could come back against, you know, she could be in Armor Wars for fuck's sake, and she's using her magic against Rhodey. You know, who knows?
I'm going to say this, and I hope this doesn't get me shouted at. I do think that this is a rip-off of what Shazam's trying to do with the 5, whatever it is that they're trying to do.
What? A rip-off of what?
The new Shazam movie.
The new Shazam movie? This is a rip-off of that?
I reckon so.
Yeah, but this has come out first. And this is also had like a lot of backstory to make it a more credible, unique thing. You know, like there's hardly anything Shazam's got behind it, and people don't even know if it's in the same universe as Henry Cavill's Superman or not. You know, well, yeah, we kind of believe it is, but until I see it,
I hate seeing. By the way, I hate seeing Shazam. It's fucking Captain Marvel. His name's Captain Marvel. So Captain Marvel, what the?
Yeah, I'm gonna call him Shazam for the sake of me not confusing myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm used to calling him Shazam, and
Shazam now.
Yeah, I'm just for that particular sake. Anyways, this has been a great little chat. I'm glad we got some of these things off my chest. None of these questions were answered, by the way, but I never really expected them to. But I was hoping
we're both speculating.
Yeah, it was just speculating, and maybe for anybody else who never thought about these particular questions, you got some food for thought, and you got stuff to think about now. When
what I'm hoping is that Marvel will knock us all from the side, and we will see what they have.
Like I said, like I said, I don't give a fuck to a degree who Ralph is. I mean, Agnes herself, Agatha, was deceiving everyone all along, so she could just mention the name Ralph, and we never had to see him anyway, just because she was just full of shit, the whole time. So for that reason, I'm not too fussed about Ralph. I would like to know who Pietro really is. I hope that gets resolved. Regarding the kids, I think we'll get answers to that, where they are and whether they survived their hex or not. I think that will be answered. Who Agnes is, I think I want that to be answered. I think I feel very empty not knowing how we have a witch, a real witch, not somebody created from a fucking mind stone, a real witch in our universe. I find, consider we got wizards, but she's a bit different, you know, like she's almost like a different, like there's a science almost to Doctor Strange's magic. Agatha seems to be a whole different ball game. And what does Agatha want?
Well,
I think go on.
I was gonna say, well, the thing is, I think what she wants is control, because the thing is that like, I think that, as I said, I think that she has some sort of like history with the Scarlet Witch, with Wanda. Maybe it's that happened with Endgame. It happened um, with with, uh, with Infinity War. Maybe, I don't know what it was, but there's something that she didn't do. I was like, right, I'm going to take it out on her. So it's basically a Baron Zemo-esque villain, where she's taking out what happened to her on that. And if that happened, that'd be awesome. Especially if they kept her alive and her and Baron Zemo could like team up at one point. Because that'd be quite awesome. Baron Zemo's like sinister planning with her powers. That'd be cool.
Shit, my phone's ringing. Okay, sorry.
Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so okay, I guess, but I do think we'll find out what she. Obviously, we'll find out her needs. I mean, something like that needs to be answered. Like, why the hell is she fucking with Scarlet Witch? So Monica's beef with Auntie Carol, I don't know if we'll get any resolution to that or any more information on that. And that's not the most important thing anyway, so that's understandable. Director Hayward's role in the saga, I do think we'll get some more information on that. Once again, I want him not to. I want him to get away with these sort of things, because the point is like these people at the top of the food chain when it comes to these things, they tend to fuck up and somehow still keep their job, and I want to see that with Hayward. Will we see Vision live beyond the show? I guess we'll find out by episode 9. Where the hell are the Avengers and Doctor Strange tie? And I'll mention those two questions. I think we'll get one, maybe two Avengers. Who knows? By the end of this show, I do feel we're going to get some Avengers, because one of their own has gone rogue. They need to resolve this. You know, this is an in-house situation. So, anyway. All right, Gary, it's been nice having you as my guest. Thank you very much. And to everyone else, don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. The symbol on this channel on our YouTube page is also on our Facebook page, as we're called Nerd Nation. So are so many other people. So they don't know who we are. Look at the symbol, look at the logo. That's how you know who we are. Thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day. Bye bye.